What's going on, guys? Welcome to Ragnar's Roughnecks. Today I've got a very cool episode for you. I am bringing in the foremost experts and dirtbags from the Total War community. We're going to start with the greatest to worst, and I'll let you pick whatever category you want to put them in. But we have Joe on it here joining me. We've got the Shaved Peace Woman joining me, Bearded War Man, I'm sorry, I gotta get that right. And of course we have the Canadian from the north. He might be a little quiet, he's got some bark lips going on from getting that raw maple syrup, Rosefall Gaming. So, welcome everybody. I brought all of you in today for your expertise at being garbage players in Total War.
Terrible.
Absolute garbage.
We know that my Napoleon strategies never fail, as seen when facing Pixelated Apollo in a charity fight that he won't rematch us on.
Because you just throw cannons at the problem.
That's not him.
Russian
that's
tactics.
Dan throws the cannons.
That's the Napoleon game. That is what Napoleon did.
He brings the infantry.
If you just throw cannons at the problem, eventually the problem will just be there on the field dead.
Or it won't exist, yeah. So let's jump right in, guys. What do you currently think of these last two releases that we've had with Total War? Specifically talking about Pharaoh and the fact that the company eventually backtracked on it a little bit, and even with Troy and its exclusive Epic release for the first year. What are your guys' thoughts on it? I'm gonna go to Rose first.
Pharaoh was, in theory, a good game to me. Like, it was like the first time anyone that I can remember did something about the Bronze Age. But that being said, we have no idea what even happened then. So they were shooting in the dark on a lot of things, and just the way they did it with the multiplayer battles where it was 2v2s instead of 4v4s, shot themselves in the foot for that. They are still trying to keep that same art style that they've been doing with Troy and Warhammer and all the other games, all the newer games. To me, I don't care. As long as it runs, works, but the whole thing with the multiplayer battles, that's really what killed me, because it's what you built your game on. You built your game on having fun with your friends. You know? Now I can only have fun with 3 people instead of 8.
Yeah, and for being like a grand strategy genre of games, I think reducing the number, because you can't tell me that they just physically weren't able to do it. They didn't have the capability of doing it. I mean, what do you think it is, Joe, that made them make that call on making that change to the multiplayer?
I have 2 answers for that. The first one is pure, complete laziness. Pure and complete laziness, and a non-care for the multiplayer community aside of campaigns, which they showed in Warhammer 3, 8-player campaign. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Simultaneously.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if we're allowed to talk how I normally talk on this.
Yes. Yeah. Say it.
Okay, good. They don't give a shit about the multiplayer community, in my opinion. They had so much time. They were still rifling shit out for Warhammer 3. They were still dealing with making lords and this and whatevers and stats and all this stuff for Warhammer 3. I'm not talking bad about the Warhammer community anymore. It's just not worth the time to do it anymore. It's not worth the time. It's not even trouble. It's just not even worth the time anymore, because that's what CA has become.
Yeah.
It's Warhammer.
Yeah.
It's Warhammer all day, every day, all day,
it's the
every day,
fantasy
every
franchises.
year, every second. Warhammer. Which, I mean, hey, if that's what they do to sell games and make money, all right, that's fine. But yeah, I just to echo a little bit on Rose.
Yeah, so funny enough.
Pharaoh, they rushed.
Yeah,
they rushed out Pharaoh.
Definitely.
They took a lot more time with Troy. and you can see that they took a lot more time with Troy than they did with Pharaoh was just oh shit, we're sinking.
Throw something out to grab
throw
money.
anything that you can write up in 10 minutes on your desk and throw it at the screen, and we're just gonna smush it all together. And that was just for the intro, the trailer.
Yeah.
That was just for that, because it's like, that trailer to me resembled the trailer for Rome 2, where it was like, holy shit, do you guys see this massively epic great siege of Carthage? Wait, what happened? What happened?
Yeah.
Rome 2 came out. What happened? Where did all the cool epic shit go?
Yeah, so I just did while you were talking. I just went to their Facebook page for Creative Assembly and for Total War, and out of the last 12 posts that they've made, Pharaoh, the same video from Pharaoh has been 2 of them, and everything else has been about Warhammer. So do you think that it has to have become a money thing? And I wonder if that is pressure from Sega. I wonder if that's pressure from what is going on, because, and why don't we see, here's a better question for this. How come we haven't seen a challenger after these last 3 or 4 releases? What do you think it is? Why do you think we haven't seen someone to make, because they're, as much as they're a complex game, it's not that much of a complex. Do you think it's the man hours and the crew, or do you think that as a genre it's just dying? There's no money in it.
They made Rome 2, and the reason why I think everybody still plays Rome 2 is because they spent a massive amount of time and resources to make that game and put in the effort, and it shows in the quality of the game and the mechanics and everything. I mean, yeah, it has issues, but everybody pushes past that. Like, it lags in multiplayer games and all these things. We don't care because it's such a good, just battle warfare siege, like all the things that we love as players of the game. And I think that, I don't know if they got new leadership or something, but something switched after that, because then it just turned into these cartoony type games that nobody was really asking for. They just was like, you know what, this would be a good idea. I'm like, who'd you ask? Who'd you ask that they wanted that?
Well,
like,
so
everybody says that they want Medieval 3, Empire 2, like all these legit games, and they just don't. They're not listening. I feel like.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like, okay, so they're not listening to us, but no one, there hasn't been a company, even an existing publisher or studio, that's made what we're asking for. You know, I wonder what it would take to create because don't get me wrong, like the modding community is absolutely insane. These guys that have figured out the Empire 2 mod.
Yeah.
What is it funding for them? Is it the base game engine? Is that what the holdup is? Like, I wonder what's holding them back from legitimately making their own version of it. Because I think if you did a good historical one, and even if you just release it as multiplayer only, like if you made a new Napoleon or a new Empire or Medieval 3, and you made it multiplayer, like 12-12, right? 12-12 took how long to get a campaign? Years.
About 5 years.
5-6 years,
Yeah, but it thrived and it did well just multiplayer. So,
and they're still working on the campaign today.
Yeah.
Still. So I need some millionaire, billionaire, whatever you want to be, to hire all of these modders, get them off of their day jobs, and pay them to execute this. Because could you imagine what a Medieval 3 actually would do?
Oh god.
Or do you think it's CA just saying, they'll mod it, they're not going anywhere?
I've wondered this myself too. If they're just like, if they're like almost scared of the modders, or just that they'll just let the modders take it over, and like they just build the base game and then let people kind of take it over. But I've wondered this as well, if that's why they do what they do.
Yeah.
Because yeah, sometimes I feel like they don't listen to us, and everyone's always like, oh, we want this, we want that, we want this, and I feel like it's never coming out. But I mean, the modding community is humongous.
Yeah, I think
there are so many just total rehauls on all the games.
I think most of the historical ones would be completely dead without modders. You know, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of them that I like vanilla. I like Rome 2 vanilla. I'll start a campaign up randomly in Rome 2. You know.
Yeah.
What did they miss? What mark did they miss when they remastered Rome Total War? Because I feel like that's just something no one talks about.
I think,
They put too much into it.
I played Rome Remastered when it first came out, and the first thing that, because of how my community is, how this community is that we have here,
nobody watched it.
We immediately went in and tried to do multiplayer battles.
Yeah,
didn't fucking work.
Yeah,
just didn't work. Like you would all right, everybody press start.
The hell
Load
is
screen.
this?
We gonna move? It doesn't work. Oh, okay, it doesn't work. Okay. I just wanted to jump real quick back.
Yeah.
You were saying something about other companies making games that could rival.
Yeah.
Slavic.
Yeah.
They did a pretty good job with Manor Lords.
Yeah, but it's not.
The problem with Manor Lords is that it wasn't enough.
The replayability.
It's not grand enough, and it was a. If you did, like, just my playthrough as an example, I had it beat in 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I had my food, I had trade, I had everything done the way I needed to get done, and I was done in 3 weeks. And I mean, there's updates coming, there's changes being made.
He added a bunch of stuff recently.
But there's not. I wouldn't consider them even a remote challenge, other than the battle gameplay a little bit.
Well,
different, yeah.
So I'm in. I don't know if you guys are in their Discord. In the Manor Lord Discord. That dude is putting up polls and asking questions literally every day.
Yeah,
literally.
He's doing exactly
He's doing
everything we want Creative Assembly to do about a game.
Yeah,
I want Creative Assembly to be like, hey, out of these 3 titles, say out of fucking Empire 2, Medieval 3, or a random historical title that we have decided already, what do you want? What do you as a community fucking want?
Yeah.
Do you want it to be a single or continuously campaign with your friends up to 8 people? Because if you've ever tried
that would be
the
amazing.
Warhammer 3 campaign with 8 people, boy, it tests your fucking patience. It tests your scrolling skills on your phone. And if you really want to just sit there and listen to your friends bitch and complain for the next 6 hours while you try and play.
Well, it's gotten a little bit better. Like when it first came out, I put together, the Bearded and Ragnar were there. I don't remember. RD was there.
Yeah.
Armored,
I think Nora's
Charlie.
was too, because I think he's.
We had 8. I know we had 8 people.
Yeah.
And the first time we played it, it was like, we're trying to get into a fight here, and it's not even a siege.
We couldn't even get through one battle.
I'm gonna run to the store, guys. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Let me know how fast this load bar. But then I tried it again with 5.
Yeah, we all kind of like tweaked it.
And it worked a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like with 12-12 and their online battles. What I've found out is if you do 4v4s, because I've been a part of Joe's streams when he's done 4v4s on 12-12, someone always lags out, or desyncs. Every time. Doesn't matter. Normal map, custom map, everyone, all 4 of us, all 8 of us lag out.
Yeah.
I personally have done 3v3s, no lag out. It might lag a little bit in the game. Obviously, it's a Total War.
Which begs the question.
It doesn't lag out. No one drops.
Yeah.
Like, which begs the question, like, are they testing that stuff before they put it out?
Oh.
The mod. You talking about the mod people, or
I would
No,
say
I feel like what Joe said earlier, like it just seems to me like laziness.
Yeah, it's
on whose part?
On CA's
on
part.
CA's part, yeah.
Like that they're not like they put like I said, they put so much time and effort into Rome 2. Why did you guys stop doing it? Like I feel like 3 Kingdoms was a really good game. Like after Rome 2.
And then what? 1 year after it,
after Rome 2 did.
Compared to the others that have recently come out. Like
Yeah,
compared to
didn't
the
they-
other ones that have recently.
They canceled the DLC for that, didn't they?
They canceled all work on Three Kingdoms.
on
Yeah.
Three Kingdoms? Yeah, they
Three
were
Kingdoms.
supposed to come
They're
out.
like, we're done.
There was
There
I
was a
want to say
Korean
there was like
DLC, wasn't there?
six or seven DLCs that came out in total, not counting the Blood DLC, because we have to
Right.
charge
I mean,
for
we
that.
gotta
You
have
can't just
that.
give that.
$5 for Blood
We
and
gotta
Gore.
charge
Like-
Blood.
$5, dude. Come on.
But yeah, I think there was at least 6 DLC that
Yeah.
came
the
out,
princes, the 8 princes,
and then
The one
the
all of a sudden
native, the native one.
they just came out and said, "Yeah, we're done
done.
with 3
Yeah.
Like we're done. Like there's no more." It's like, wait, why? And then I remember it was within a week or so. It was like, oh, they're done because they're working on 3 Kingdoms 2. Oh,
Right.
that kind of sucks. But I mean, all right. I guess maybe it's going to be like a Warhammer 2 kind of Oh,
Like
no,
what they-
3 Kingdoms 2 is done too. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so are we doing anything with 3 Kingdoms?
So we're done.
No, 3 Kingdoms is just done. Oh, all right. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
I got a
It's-
feeling with the Three Kingdoms thing, it was more of like, because I know when they were making it, it was a lot of Chinese propaganda. They were like, "No, I'm not doing it. No, I'm not fucking doing it. No, I'm not doing it. Like, you can't do that. It's like, you can't do this." So I have a feeling like that's what it was. They were like, "We're gonna make this." They're like, "No, no more.
Yeah,
People
but
already shit on us. No, no more."
so is the answer to the future more sagas? Or do they
No.
need to put
No.
sagas?
No.
I enjoy.
No.
Okay,
No.
I'm gonna
Stop
say this.
everything. Just work together as one for one fucking game.
I have loved, in one way or another, one facet or another, one level of another, however you want to word it. I have loved every single Total War up until Troy and Farron.
Yeah.
Even including Warhammers in there, because some people have made me play it,
Yeah.
and I've been forced to play it more than I wanted to, and I
Can
kind
we
of
say
like
who
it.
those were?
I kind of like it. You know who you are.
Your name starts with a C.
E, C, an I, an A, a B.
It's
But
it
I've
ahead.
loved every single one of them. Just these last 2 just felt like they were
Extremely rushed.
I think
just
Troy
Hail
was
Marys.
a big miss making it an Epic exclusive. 'Cause
Yeah,
you had-
oh
I was-
God.
I was
I was
honestly
one-
excited for it before it came out.
Dude, I was one of the people who I'm not downloading Epic just to play it even
Yeah.
if it's free.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't have any interest or need for it. I'll wait for it on Steam or I'll wait for it on another way on PC because it doesn't have to just be through Steam. But then a year later, and then they did it for a year. It's not even like they did it for like a couple of months or 6 months. They did it for a year. So a lot of people, including myself, didn't even play it until the year mark. And by that time, it was kind of dead. And sieges on it sucked. The 2v2, you know. And I don't even remember I think I remember correctly, but it's not even like a full siege where you can like line up and attack from different angles. It's 2 people behind one specific area, and you can only attack that area, right?
I want to say that you're correct on that. Yeah.
I think you are.
And that's not a Total War. Total War, I should be able to
Go where I want.
go where I want, do what I want.
I want to
If I-
fight Joe in the water. I'm gonna fight Joe in the water. Damn it!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, or I bring my serpent cultist to take the wall from Goose, and I bring a 20 stack of serpent cultists. It's what I'm gonna do.
Or you and I go hide in the woods and have a cat fight, and then just leave.
Yeah. We kill each other off, not even anywhere near the seat.
It takes away creativity.
Yeah, it takes away. So, what do you think would be what do you think would be a bigger thing to save it? If the next, let's say it's a historical one comes out, what do you think is going to be the bigger thing that would save and start to bring back CEA's credibility and popularity? Would it be a mega awesome, in-depth campaign with lots of faction options that you don't have to pay for? Or would it be a completely finished, polished, perfect multiplayer platform?
So, I want to go first because it's kind of like the thing is love Empire Total. I love it. I love being able to have the aspect of going to America with an army and conquering it with whatever faction I want. If I want to be Russians, I go to America, or I want to be Russians, I go to India. But what I love the most is the fact that like you have Prussia, you have Hanover, Savoy, Saxony, you have all these like electorates and stuff. Plus you have the big factions like Poland, Russia, Sweden, and all that stuff. What I think would be a really good new Total War that they've done is essentially make Empire 2, start it at Pike and Shot. So you're going through that, so you see empires rise and fall like they're supposed to, like they did in history, and then go into the more modernized weapons of the 17th century, like 1700s, like muskets, canister shot, all that stuff. Then give the person the ability to either play the Napoleonic age as your own faction, as you're still your same faction. Make it hard though. Make it like, oh, you just had a rebellion or a revolution in the east side of your country, while you're over here in America, half your country just rebelled against you. What are you gonna do? You gonna stay in America and fight, or are you going to go back and lose America and go fight? You're the revolution. But give people more option, because like you can sit, and the same with Rome 2 when it first came out. I know all of us have experienced when it first came out the dumpster fire that was Rome 2 when it first came out. But like what Bearded said before, they worked their asses off to fix Rome 2 and make it good, to the point where people will still come back and play today. Like, how long has Rome 2 been out? 10 years almost?
Over
11.
Over 10.
Yeah. It's been out for a hot minute, and people will still go. That's my favorite Total War. Me, I love Empire and Attila. Those are my two favorite. I feel like if they made an Empire 2 with bigger maps, better maps, obviously more updated infantry looks, because, you know, they look fucking stupid, but give it all the tenderness and love that you did to Rome 2 and Attila, and especially Warhammer. Give it the Warhammer love. You got 3 games and one gigantic ass map and God knows how many factions. Give Empire Total War that. And also give me the ability, is if I'm in a street and there's alleyways, let me put my men around them through the alleyway. That's so dumb. I'm sitting in a fight. Say I'm fighting Bearded in a street, and I look to my left, and there's an alleyway where I could definitely fit 30 guys in a line. Why can't I go that way? Like, what is the possibility? Why? Why not? What is stopping that?
Yeah. So it sounds like you're more for campaign.
I'm more for campaign, but also epic battles go for multiplayer. Like, I really haven't had very much bad experiences on multiplayer, except for, like, obviously the map bullshit and people lagging out and cheating. But other than that, multiplayer is fun, because usually I only play with you guys. I play with you donuts or with my other group of friends. I don't play randoms. I hate randoms.
All right, so that was the long, drawn-out Canadian way to say that he would prefer campaigns. Joe, what's your pick of the two?
I mean, I'm a fan of campaigns. I'm obviously a bigger fan of multiplayer battles. I would love to see Warhammer 3 did it, like, kind of flicked a switch in me. I think it did in a lot of other people too. I would love to see an 8-person fully functional campaign.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it. I would love to see it. And yeah, okay. Even the things that are behind museum glass have cracks in it. I get it. But let's make it that. Let's not have it, hey, we're going to launch. Crash.
Yeah.
No. Let's
Or
we've been around. We've been doing this for
watching.
What was Shogun? Total
Yeah,
War
Shogun, the
That was
original
like
one.
2000.
Like that?
Like 2000, 99, 2000, somewhere in there. We've
Yeah.
been doing this shit for almost 25 years.
Yeah.
Let's get the iron out. Let's plug it into the wall. Stop using the one you put on the coal.
Stop using your grandma's.
Iron out some of those kinks.
Yeah. All right, Bearded. What's yours?
So I'm gonna kind of be like the odd sheep here. I'm gonna say they need to do both. I think, like what Joe just said, they've been doing this for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
They've made some really bangers, like some really good games. They've seen things that do well. They've seen things that don't do well. The Rome 2 campaign, beautiful. The whole map is interactive. Things are going on. It looks amazing. Do that again. Make the map look amazing on whatever game you make. Medieval 3, that would be my one I want. But also, I feel like multiplayer battles are something that they're kind of going away from the recent ones that they've been doing. On Pharaoh, you can't even have 8 people battling.
Right.
Why are we going away from the 4v4s?
That's how Troy was too, if I remember correctly. You couldn't even have 4v4
and then
on
they
there
changed
either.
it later to 4v4, I believe.
The land battles you can do 4v4, sieges,
but not
just
sieges. Yeah.
So my thing is, I think they need to put work in both sides.
Okay.
Make an amazing campaign for the people that love amazing campaign, because people love Total War games for different reasons.
Yeah.
Some people like it for the campaign. Some people like it for the multiplayer aspect. Some like both. But also make a good modding community or abilities for the modding community to make things change into their own creative ways. So I want them to do both. Like make another Rome 2-esque type game. Put that time and effort. Get away from sagas. I love Thrones. I love Thrones. Nobody played it. I mean, we play it. We play it. We play it.
And that's it. When you go open the lobby, that's it.
It's the best maps siege-wise in the entire franchise. Why are we getting away from the things that are so well and people love, and people say these things? We love these maps. We love this campaign. We love this thing. We love this aspect of the multiplayer campaign in Warhammer 3. Fix that shit. But then we can all do that. Take the good from all the other games and make one fucking epic badass game. That's what I want.
So what if, and I'm just throwing this out there, if I was CA and I knew, because I'll be honest, I'm 100% honest with this, and I think a lot of the community feels the same way. They're kind of on life support. I think they've got one more fumbled ball, and people are gonna stop. People are gonna stop getting it. It's not gonna be one of those. It's not gonna be a nerd tax anymore. It's gonna be nope. I'm not gonna grab it. So what if they did one more saga as a placeholder? That's where they use. So ripping off of Arma and what Bohemia Interactive is doing with Arma Reforger. They have been upfront the entire time. This is not Arma 4. This is where we are testing the new engine. This is where we're testing the new things. And it's up to you guys to buy this, play it, and tell us what needs fixed, added, removed, changed, mod it, do it. We're going to give you all the resources to mod it, do everything you want to do with it. But here it is for $19.99. This is our testing ground, and you get that positive feedback from a game that you are upfront the whole time. You're not selling this as a finished product. You're not selling this as the next Medieval. You're not selling it as the next Napoleon or Empire or anything like that. You're just upfront about it, saying this is a saga title, but this is our testing grounds, right? We're going to test the new cavalry mechanics here. We're going to test the new infantry mechanics here. I think that's what they're going to have to do to start bringing their credibility back. I think we all feel like it's too many smoke and mirrors that we see through so easily within the first 30, 40 minutes of playing. And I think some of these creators too, they're burning out their free marketing, because the influencers, the content creators, Joe, Bearded, Apollo, all these other cats that make non-stop Total War videos, they're burning them out because they're having to defend the titles almost. And I think that that's going to continue to take them down the path of not no longer being in existence, but definitely being dethroned. There's a huge opportunity here for somebody to make a half-decent Rome 2-esque game, even with Rome 2 graphics, and absolutely smash CA and knock them out of the loop.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that? Do you guys think that that's what it would take, or do you think they would need to do more than that?
First and foremost, CA would never, and I mean ever, make anything for $20. Never.
Yeah.
Never. Like, just
I don't even think they're
Dude,
Total War battles.
You said
for
that,
$20.
and inside I just started like.
Or that
Nope.
game that
Never happened.
they released where it was just battles, what, Total War Arena? I don't even think
Yeah.
that was
Oh,
$20.
Yeah.
I mean, that was $20. What? That lasted a year before they were like, no one plays this shit. Take it down.
So I want to. You said a lot there, so I want to make sure that I unpack as much of it as I can. Well,
See the cogs turning.
no, I don't want them to make a Medieval 3 or Rome 3 right now.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
With their track record now, either it's just going to be a pile of dog shit mixed with vomit, and lords are like generals are going to be gods, and
Henry
they're just going to be able to.
Agincourt killing all the French cavalry with his
Yeah,
rainer.
like it's just going to be. He's going to call lightning bolts down, and it's going to be like, wait, what? Like
Lightning bolt.
like William Wallace is going to be there, and they're going to be like, he shot fireballs from his ass. It's like that was just that was a saying. He didn't actually do that. Like he didn't really do that in real life.
His claymore's 13 feet long.
Yeah, like I have a lot of fear with that, and that's honestly that's with any. Like
Yeah. How
I
cartoony
kind
is
of
it gonna
don't
be
want
when it
CA
comes
to
out?
make any historical titles anymore, because
Yeah.
I'm that afraid that they're going to take a general from Napoleon who now all of a sudden has a machine gun, and
Yeah.
he just can
drives a
fast
tank.
reload everything, and he can just take the tank shot and throw it wherever he wants it to go,
Yeah.
and that's going to kill a third of the army in one shot. It's like,
Marshall Ney with an MG42.
yeah.
And that's the thing, like, they have so many rumors out there, too, of, like, oh, they're
Star
playing-
Wars?
They're making this, yeah,
Oh,
Star Wars, or World War One. And it's like they never, like
Star
tell us,
Wars-
Tell us what you're making, like,
Well-
2 years ahead of time,
So
and let us, you know.
I don't want to see either one of those movies. I don't even want to see Napoleon 2 right now. If they, because and I've been saying this for the last several months.
Since their
I know I've said it
announcement.
on. I know I've said it on my streams a bunch of times. Whenever somebody asks me, all that will do if they make that right now. I have a very. I mean, people will be very happy. Bearded said he'd take it. He'd be happy to play a Medieval 3.
If it's good.
My fear is the people that are all well, yes, if it's good, but my fear is that, you know, if you like a certain type of music, there's other people like you that like that certain type of music. If
Yeah.
you like a certain way, there are other people like you that like a certain way. I'm fearful for CA that if they were to put out a Medieval 3 now, or Rome 3 now, or a Napoleon 2 now, the people that aren't playing anymore would come out and be like, so wait, you could have done this the whole fucking time? You gave us all this
Yeah.
bullshit for what reason? You could have
Yeah.
made a Medieval 3 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
put out Warhammer 3, you couldn't have another team making a Medieval 3? Or a Rome 3? Or a Napoleon 2? But you had to give us shit that we didn't even want. And I'm not
Yeah.
shitting on, like, there are people
Nobody
out there
asked
that like
for
Troy,
it.
there are people out there that like Pharaoh. And I'm not shitting on them,
Right.
but there's
I
a
am.
large group of people, there's a large group of people that are like, yeah, all right, oh, fucking historical title coming down the pipe? Oh, shit, Pharaoh.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And that's
Like,
the
and
conflict.
Rose said something before about the Bronze Age.
Yeah.
There's a mod for Rome 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called the Bronze Age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CA could have looked at that mod and been like, oh, maybe we should kind of model ours after that or something. Not, we're going to just take Troy, and we're going to mix it with some crap, and we're going to push it together and throw it out and just let people pay for it, buy it, and play it.
And
So
that's the
do
thing
you
with
think-
all people.
Go
Go ahead.
Yeah. So
Like,
do you
everybody's gonna buy
think
it.
the
Yeah.
fact that Warhammer 3 and the Warhammer ones have done well and their DLCs have sold well,
Yeah.
do you think that is their sole driving force now? That they want to keep that community, and so they want everything to keep them, because there's a lot of Warhammer 3 players that if you put them in Empire or Rome 2 or Attila, they would hate it. Do you think that they've kind of been like, oh, this is our new niche, this is our pivot, and we need to figure out how to keep, like, do you think it's going to take Warhammer 3 dropping to 1,000 players for them to be like, all right, maybe we'll change?
I hope not.
I don't think so, because we know someone who plays Warhammer 3 religiously with his brother, like all the fucking time. You can hear him in the back while you're talking to him in Discord. You can hear him in the back talking about Warhammer 3, and he started playing more Total Wars, like Attila and Rome. I think those are the only two he's played, but he's enjoying them.
Okay,
But
so
before he never played them.
all right, so here we go. So all-time peak for Warhammer 3 is 166,000 players. Playing an hour ago, 28,000 players. So they're down to a daily average of 28,000
Compared to when they released it,
So I mean, yeah, Rome 2 probably has
at least
less
13.
than, less than that though.
I can
Oh,
tell you right now.
As many people that play Rome 2 still for the historical stuff, there's probably
So
double
all-time peak for Rome 2, 118,240. The playing an hour ago, 5,410.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I mean,
But-
it's still pretty good for an 11-year-old game.
Well, here's the difference. As far as breakdowns in between those two games in particular.
Yeah.
How many of them are playing campaign? How many of them are playing multiplayer? I guarantee the majority of the people playing Rome 2 are playing multiplayer, and the majority of the people who are playing Warhammer 3 are playing campaign.
Yeah.
Because from what I've heard, I mean, okay, there has been Rome 2 tournaments. A lot of Rome 2 tournaments lately.
Yeah.
There's been Attila Total War tournaments. There's been Napoleon. There's been like one or maybe two Empire ones.
Yeah, within the last 10 years for that.
Warhammer? There's one going on right now, I know that. In my entire time since I started my channel almost 5 years ago,
Yeah.
I've heard of 2 Warhammer multiplayer tournaments. Everything's campaign with Warhammer. I mean, you have the God of Gods, Legend of Total War, the Warhammer 3 Warhammer King. He doesn't play multiplayer battles, he plays campaign.
Yeah.
And out of his mouth, he only plays up to turn 30. And then
Really?
stops. He only plays up to turn 30 and then stops because it's so easy after that. Once you hit turn 30, you can steamroll your way. Those are his exact quote from one of his streams. That's his 8-hour streams is turn 1 to turn 30, but he's also talking a lot to his community. You know, when you have 3,500 people watching you, you have a lot of conversation to have. But, you know, I don't know why I said all that. Why did I say all that?
That's
It's kind of went off a little
the
tangent
players,
right there.
we bring
players.
this intermission thanks to old age. No, okay, so let's talk about this. So let's talk about the online community and kind of what's propping up Rome 2 a lot of the time. We have a problem in the Rome 2 online community, in my opinion. and I'm gonna get into the nitty gritty of it. If you guys don't want to speak on it, don't speak on it. But I am definitely a casual multiplayer person. I don't even, most of the time, I don't even cycle troops. I don't worry about stats.
Yeah.
I don't worry about any of that stuff. I play how I play how I want to play, and I don't necessarily always play to win. Half the time, I bring some kind of meme army with me. Joe can attest to that. Yeah. Plenty of times, and it makes people upset or it doesn't, whatever. But what is going on that we have these communities of creators that feel like if someone's doing well, if someone else is doing well, they're taking away from me. Like, Rome 2's not that much of a commodity. No, there are no Rome 2 millionaires. There's not a single Rome 2 millionaire out there. Not even Apollo.
Not even Legend of Total War.
Yeah, none of them. So why do we feel like, with all, like you're talking about all the tournaments and things like this, why do we feel like if someone else is doing well, or why do they act like someone else is doing well, it takes away and it takes out of my pocket and we can't work together, you know? And now we just had one of the bigger ones is shut down indefinitely, right? Total War League. Mm-hmm. They put a pause on it indefinitely. Don't know what's going on with them for it. And I hope whatever it is sorted out. But do you think it's because there's too much crap, too much drama, too much BS to it? Or do you think it's because they go off of a lot more of the stats base? Like, the point system for it doesn't make sense to me. I've always believed in the whole faction knockout thing. That's cool. But, like, the point system on it, if we're going to treat it like a soccer league, we don't, but Rome 2, we don't have draws. Yeah. You know? There's wins and losses. So if you win, if you win 2 out of 3, you won 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Or if you win 3 out of 4, however you want to do it. If you want to do 2 attack, 2 defense. But that's my observation, is what I see is people feel like, oh, if they're doing well, it takes out of my pocket, when truthfully there's enough views, there's enough community going on. Why do we have to spend so much time being shitty?
Well, again, I feel like I'm just kind of taking the lead on some of these questions here. This one, I feel like
you're the most experienced.
Yeah. So just to respond a little bit of something, from what I have heard, whether I wanted to or not, from what I have heard, the Total War League, as far as the siege part of it, has stopped because of drama.
That makes sense.
There are actually people who have completely 100% severed ties.
Wow.
From that community, and have zero plans of ever going back, or even zero plans of even talking to certain people that were involved in it anymore, because I guess somebody's head got too big for the crown that they were wearing.
That makes sense.
But what does that do? Does it create a gap though? Like, is there really that much of a fan base for it?
Tournaments?
Or was it the tournament players, the other tournament players watching the battles? You know what I mean?
From Total War League specifically, or just all?
No. I just mean in general. Like, we're not singling anybody out. I just mean in general. Are most of the tournaments and stuff like that, when they've been done, are the viewers mostly the competitors that are watching it live? Or
I feel like it could be a bit of both, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like it's like any kind of sport. I mean, anybody, you know.
You're always going to get those people that are like, I have to play these guys at one point. Let's maybe fucking see how they play. Yeah, and then you get those get those people that are diehard fans of the tournament. So they're like, I've been here since like season fucking 1 in Total War League sense. I've been here since season 1. I'm gonna watch because this is cool. Like, I love Total War in sense.
I think it also has to do with the creator of whoever's like covering the replays, or even live streaming the brackets, or whatever however you want to call it.
Yeah.
Because you can have brand new people who are like, tournaments, but these guys must be really good. Well, I want to get really good, so I'm going to watch them. I'm going to latch on to the community, and I'm going to learn, and I'm going to grow, and I'm going to become a better player. or I'm just going to sit back and be like, I want the rice farmers to win the entire fucking thing, and then they do.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just saying. I'm
Yeah.
just
It's not biased. It's not like we know them. It's not like we know them.
It's an example.
It's not like
I
we
don't
knew
know.
them.
I don't really know. You know what I mean? Like, that's an example. I
Yeah,
knew
yeah.
they made a team, and it was like
Gotta show support to your
I
own.
wanted them to win.
Yeah.
I don't think that's.
There was something you said earlier, Ragnar, about like casual players versus not casual players.
Mm-hmm.
With that, I feel like with all the tournaments and stuff that are coming around, you're not gonna get a lot of the casual players coming into your lobby. If it's a casual game and they know, like Joe, for instance, he streams Fight Night. That is every Saturday night at 8 p.m. I think. Yep. And if you've ever watched Joe and all of us donuts play,
He
we
sweats
do
like
not have a
crazy.
serious fucking bone in our body when we play.
I got a pile of napkins over here that are just drenched with the sweat that I throw over there with.
Like,
So-
not one of us is a serious player when it comes to Total War.
So
We fuck around, we have fun.
So let me throw this out there, because this is something that I've disagreed with and I haven't liked, and especially with Napoleon.
I told you about Bearded's toe picks. You gotta be supportive about it. Yep.
No. I don't get. Well, I don't get.
We're gonna talk
are-
after this is over.
$20, man.
on the army limits, the unit rules and stuff like that. Like, you're telling me that if someone decided to bring if it was a 2-player team and someone brings an entire army of cannons and the other person's the infantry, like, you're telling me that there's no way possible that you could figure out how to defeat that? I always just chuckle when they're like, yep, 1, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, tickle my butt. You know, it doesn't. I don't get it, because it's a
What was the
strategy
fucking-
game. It's a strategy game.
True.
If you can't figure out how to beat an army of 11 archer units and 9 pikemen, get better at the strategy of it, right? Like, why even put these handicaps and these limitations
What are
there?
you fucking
If we're
Alexander the
serious,
Great?
right?
Sorry.
Okay. So I
Motherfucker went back to ancient Macedonia. He was like, I want Grant Alexander's fucking army. Bring me all the Pac-Men.
Well, that's
So-
like if you're Rome and you only bring Praetorian Guards, you can't bring a 20 stack of Praetorian Guards. You only bring an 8 or 9.
Go bring like 5.
well, so I in particular I use the 1-2-4 because it's just been one of those classic. That's one of those. That was one of the rules when I first started playing. It was 1-2-4. It just makes sense. It just makes sense. I don't know.
Because it was one of the rules when you started.
Yeah, it just became a normal. It became a standard.
I'm bumping that one back. I can't say that one on here.
You tried, and then you were like, maybe not.
But I
balancing.
do. I had instituted a few years back the max 7 unit thing.
Yeah.
That's because I don't want to fight 14 tribal warriors and an OS1 general. I don't
Yeah.
want to fight that. Nobody wants to fight that.
No.
Nobody
I'd
wants
fight
to
it.
fight 14 Praetorians.
I'd fight it.
No, you don't- it's not fun. It's not.
Canister
You're like,
shot.
It is
okay,
Ragnar.
it took 3/4 of my ammo on all of my archers to kill one. Oh, there's 15 more. Oh, this is fucking awesome. Like, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be great.
Yeah.
But
Or
I
a
hear
million
what you're
javelins.
saying. I hear what you're saying on the ability to be able to bring what you want to bring. Which
Yeah.
there are probably other creators out there and other streamers or whatever that just say, "Hey man, bring whatever the fuck you want. Do you think? That's fine. That's you. That's not me."
Especially on Napoleon. I think
I bet you
that's
Oh,
use
one.
ultra funds too.
We probably do. It's I think it is on Napoleon. We do. We pick ultra and we pick large. And now that there's no way to do text chat because BK is afraid of people bullying, it's great because no one complains in Napoleon. They just show
Well, they
up.
do. You just can't read it.
Yeah. They're
They just-
complaining
the whole time.
behind their microphone, and you're just like, I can't hear you. I don't give a
They just load in. Yeah, they just load into Austerlitz, and Dan's up on the hill with an entire stack of artillery, and I have a bunch of hidden Danish guys around the hill protecting his artillery, and they have to come. I have to send you that replay, Joe, because we probably killed 130 cavalry in the opening salvo on Austerlitz because Dan just fired all of it.
Or the one you, me, and Bearded
All
did
of it
against
in
those
one
randoms.
spot. Yes,
I
yeah.
just sat on a hill, and you were like, "Don't move." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, just sit there and they have to figure it out.
And their general literally like spawned, and all of my cannons shot him.
Yeah.
And everyone but the general died, and I was like, I didn't do it. I just started the battle, and they all fired at the same time at that dude, because he was there. Like, what do you want me to do about that? Fucking cry me a river, bitch.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not, if it's about strategy, like you're playing Napoleon, because obviously you can't put rules and stuff like that on it really anymore. If someone loads in as Russia with a bunch of 20-pound unicorns,